Night, everybody, and welcome to the How Powerful Women Excel podcast. I'm your host, Joanna Smith. So excited to be here with you tonight, just to speak a little bit about Women's International Day. As I was going through the day and seeing all the amazing posts of the greatness and the power that women hold, I thought about some women of the Bible, some women such as Esther, uh, Deborah, Jael, um, Ruth, Naomi, and a few others, Rahab. I always like thinking about Rahab because what's powerful is that she is one that doesn't have the most beautiful reputation so far, but she is not only a part of the lineage of Jesus Christ, but she was also responsible for helping some of the apostles get away when the uh, location that they were was under siege. So she snuck them out of the city. Um, and, sometimes there might be things in our lives that we are not that thrilled about. However, on the flip side of that, those things are things that God uses to show His greatness, and also things that we are changed from, and that we're able to move on forward to bless somebody else or to be at the right space at the right time. So I just want to speak a little bit to change and what that looks like for each and every one of us. Change might be uncomfortable. It may be something, especially on this international day, that you might be saying, wow, I didn't know that I accomplished all these things, or I feel like a different individual, or my accomplishments or the capacities that I have now have grown. My I would love to call it your load bearing capacity, right? It's so engineering of me, but in engineering, there are different types of beams or forces or structures that take on different loads. And really, the powerful part of this particular day is we're celebrating women that often carried a heavy load or changed some type of thing or thought process or structure, whether that be structures physically or system type of structures, or really creating breakthrough and victory in the program or apparatus or even company that they're in or that they created. And so, um, as we continue to celebrate today, I just want to celebrate the changes that you women have created, the positive changes, and also celebrate the things that we have learned from. So, sometimes it feels as though um, we have slipped up or made a mistake. But the reality is, and I remember Oprah saying this, that everything that you've gone through in your life is something that you can gather information from, to not say that it happened to you, but that it happened for you. Okay? That it happened for you. And so when you think about change, when you think about progress, when you think about bearing more load, or even learning how to delegate load, that's another one that's required, right? And I love this podcast because um, I remember as a non for profit, Daily Smith Sam, we literally started with nobody on staff, right? And now to see that we are working alongside 20 people is just mind blowing to me. So, delegating responsibilities is a big one, especially when carrying a lot of load, right? And I love coming back to that because I'm thinking structures, I'm thinking some type of frame, you know, like a rectangle or a cube, right? And so they have different sides. The more surface area they have, the bigger they are, the more load they can carry. And then the load is kind of like disseminated between different areas of this cube or the structure. Um, And so it is, as a woman, growing and really excelling, um, it is important to recognize how to delegate. And that change might feel very different because in delegating responsibility, it requires you to trust other people. And sometimes you don't know everybody. And yes, you've made assessments, but it still requires a certain level of trust, for yourself and also to those who you're working alongside. And when you're an engineer like myself, you're used to kind of doing the work by yourself, or you'll have maybe team members that you know and that you've known for a long time. However, as you continue to grow as a business owner, you're going to realize, there are new people that are going to be a part of the business. There's going to be spaces where you are growing in the management space. And so, just excelling in those areas may be uncomfortable. However, change is never comfortable, and it is something that's working, not happening to you, but that's happening for you. So, as we reflect on not only some of the women of the Word of God, and I love coming to you with these powerful women and the lessons and the wisdom of Esther and Ruth and Deborah, and I think about the ladies who were sisters, who at the time needed land, and they didn't have any brothers, and the rule at the time in this duration of Moses was that a a male figure would have to inherit the sustenance of the father upon passing. And these young ladies said, no, we're brilliant enough. My father didn't have a seed. We're a male offspring. Where would this come? Where would the land go? And they decided that the land was going to go to them. And they were able to win that case because, they were part of they're their father's offspring. And so what we start to see here as well is that space of power, the space of being uncomfortable with the status quo and really evoking change. So as we celebrate today, I just want to give you all a shout out to your change, to continuing to grow in God and through Him, uh, and also to grow as a woman, and to continue to evoke change positively. Happy Women's International Day, and see you soon.